Hey everybody, I'm Alain and this is a devlog for my RPG BattleJuice Alchemist. I made something for the game that I think is really cool. I taught Unreal Engine to read my shitty drawings. So let me tell you how I got from this, over this, to this. Before we get into the details, I have a little roundup of news around the game. I promise to keep this short and simple, but you can of course skip ahead if you prefer that. The first big thing is that I started working on BattleJuice Alchemist full time. I found a publisher for the game and started expanding my team with the greatest people I can imagine. Unfortunately, the publisher got into financial trouble and we had to cancel our partnership. Luckily, just at the right time, Epic Games came to the rescue. We received an Epic Mega Grant. Thank you so much, Epic. This keeps us afloat and we will be able to release the game even if we do not find a publishing partner. Besides that, we brought a lot of updates to the game. I finished the first part of a big visual overhaul with the help of Felix and Patrick. Also, we now have really cool features like bullet time and black holes and stuff. If you want to check that out yourself, you can join the Steam playtest. And if you want to stay up to speed with the development process, you can wishlist the game and read my devlogs on Steam. So let's get to the cool map thing I was talking about. We have a lot of mechanics in the game that the player can have fun with, but to let them know how to do things, we need a nice tutorial. A challenge while designing it is the procedural nature of the game. For a sufficient interactive tutorial, we actually need handcrafted levels, not procedurally generated ones. There are a couple of videos about the procedural level generation on my channel if you want to know how I generate BattleJuice Alchemist's world. Back to the tutorial, I started planning and drew a map with the various stations and the landscape that would need to be built. Let's say we need a river where the player can fight turtles. I decided where the river needed to go and put the coordinates into a database so the level generation algorithm actually makes that river at these coordinates. I realized that manually putting numbers into a database is an incredibly inefficient way to do that, especially when making changes later on. If only Unreal Engine could read that map I drew up. As a matter of fact, it can, kind of. All I had to do was split up the information. I painted different height levels as values between black and white into the alpha channel of an image file. That's a bit like one of these height maps that you know from cool 3D games whose developers did not think it would be a great idea to make everything tile-based. You utilize images to save height information, for example, where mountains, plains and valleys should go. In my case, white is the highest mountain, 50% black is water level and pure black is the deepest sea. Now what is really cool is the fact that we live in a time where images can also save color information. I put the data where rocks, trees and rivers go into the red, green and blue channel. Red is rock, green is trees, blue is rivers. Now all I had to do was tell Unreal Engine to read the information from this single image file and generate the world from it. For those techie people among you who also use Unreal Engine, it is as simple as drawing the material that contains the image file to a render target and then reading the pixels from that render target. It is basically 3 nodes in the blueprint system, while I thought it might take me a few days to make that work. So while I take the rest of the week off, you can enjoy a little montage of the landscape that the algorithm created from our single image. Wishlist BattleJuice Alchemist on Steam, subscribe to YouTube, join the Discord. Thank you, bye.